Hi everybody, welcome to Deb's Way, and I'm Deb. I'm glad to have you here today, and I'm glad to be back with you today. Usually I film videos on Mondays and Wednesday and Fridays. Well, yesterday I was a little bit tied up and under the weather, so I wasn't able to do much of anything except what I did do. And that's what I'm going to tell you about today, just a little bit, okay? What kept me from videoing or posting a video yesterday was that, well, I've been going to the doctor, a specialist, for an issue that I was having, and I was put on antibiotics, okay? And this all started like, what, 2 months ago now? Something like that. The first antibiotic didn't work, so I got put on a second antibiotic. And I finished that round of medication, I'll say a week and a half ago now, something like that. And within a matter of days after finishing it, which was like last Wednesday, Thursday time frame, I started having issues. And I thought, well, okay, I'll just try and take care of it on my own. And I did a few things to try and alleviate the issue, the problem, thinking that it would be cleared up, you know, with what I was doing. But by the end of the weekend, by Sunday night, I was in such pain that I had decided, and I told William, I said, I'm going to be calling the doctor's office first thing tomorrow morning, the doctor who prescribed me the medication, and tell them what the issue is and that I need to be seen in the morning as soon as possible. Okay, so that's what I did. Monday morning, I'm usually up pretty early in the morning, so yes, I got up early, and when it got to be 7 o'clock-ish, I tried calling. Well, nobody was in. So I waited till 8, and I called the office. No, sorry, they were not taking any patients at all to walk in that day without an appointment. They had no openings whatsoever, booked solid. So the next call I made was to my GP. And I got through to them, and I explained the situation, what was happening, and that I needed to be seen. You know, I thought I had done some research on the internet on Sunday, and I kind of figured out what my issue might be. I just needed to talk it over with the doctor, get substantiation, and most of all, get medication and some relief, okay? Well, I was told that my GP was, yep, totally booked, not able to even do walk-ins that she normally does. And it was pretty booked up for some time, not just on Monday. So I figured, okay, I hung up from that. No luck at the specialist office, no luck at my GP's office. I knew I was not going to put up with this much longer, so I figured I was going to tell William I wanted to go to the emergency room. That was it, you know, and well, within an hour or so, he was within my area of the house, okay? Actually, he just got out of bed, okay? And came out to where I was. And I told him what luck I had, and you know, what luck I had in calling the doctor's offices, and what luck I didn't have, actually, that no appointment was made at either place, at any of the places, because there were no openings. They couldn't even squeeze me in. So right away, before I could even explain further what I had decided I was going to do, he said, well then, you know what, get ready, we're going to the emergency room. So, yeah, that was his choice too. We did go. Within an hour, we were there, and I walk in, and I was a little concerned because my husband does have health issues, and with all the germs floating around, especially on a normal basis within the ER, that's not a place for somebody in his shape to be in. So we happened to, a few weeks ago, several weeks ago, he found these respirators at one of the hardware stores that we visited, okay? There's 2 in a package. They're made by 3M. They are the N95 respirators that they're talking about on the news that are very, very good. So we took those with us, basically for him, in case he needed to wear one. If there was a crowd of people waiting in the waiting room, he was going to put this on. Well, we walked into the brand new facility here in our area, brand new emergency room. Actually, nowadays they're called emergency department. You know what I'm talking about though, don't you? ER. But brand new facility, so nice and clean. There was nobody waiting. I walked right in, got registered, got triaged. William got fitted with a mask, their own mask, which he wore the whole time we were inside, just in case, to be safe. And they took me right back to one of their rooms. And in this emergency room, they're not rooms that are divided by a curtain. You are given a special, separate, private room with a door that closed and had blinds on it even. It was very, very private. And so anyway, I'm in the room, and the tech comes in, but she's not a tech anymore. Nowadays they have paramedics on duty in the emergency rooms. And she came in and took my vitals and everything and talked to me a little bit as far as what I was there for and everything. And we chatted a bit. She got ready to go, and as she's leaving, the medical team comes in, and there was the doctor, the RN, the what do they call him, the scribe, and that was it. That was who came into the room as the paramedic gal was leaving. It was so fast, and they worked so diligently, and they listened to what I had to say, even when I said, that I went on the internet and kind of figured out what my problem was, that I thought it was, and talked to me about what they would or could do, type of thing. But they really listened to what I had to say. And then they discussed about, okay, having me, get ready. The doctor would leave the room while I got ready for him to have a closer look at what my issue was. So that was the longest wait, actually, was for the doctor to come back. But eventually he did with the RN. And he said he agreed with me to an extent without doing any further testing. And based on the symptoms that I gave him and what he saw, I had diagnosed myself pretty good. So he prescribed a medication, another antibiotic, but it was one that was specifically for the issue that I had at hand. And the nurse brought that to me in no time. And then he was writing me a prescription to fill that would provide another of those pills. But I didn't need to take that for a couple of days, and only if my issue did not clear up in a couple of days should I need to take a second pill. But I had one on hand just in case. And that was about it. So I left there. Well, actually, William left first, because with the mask that he had on, it was so, I know they get so hot underneath there. I had to be tested for one when I worked at the hospital, and they do get miserably hot. Well, he was uncomfortable because he wore it all the time with me in there. And after the doctor saw me and I was waiting to be discharged, he finally said that he needed to go out to the car. He needed to get that mask off. So fine, that's okay. I knew I would be out there soon. So I showed him the way out of the emergency room back to the waiting room. And he went on. And then I left shortly thereafter. But what I found out that when he left, he passed by just right outside the door to the emergency room. There was a big tent-like facility going up with lots of chairs in it and some desks, tables, and some other equipment being set up. And he had talked to the person in charge there when he was leaving and found out, he told me later, that it was to be a temporary facility for checking patients that come in that think that they have the coronavirus. So they are going to have a private facility outside of the emergency room building to be seen by medical staff. So they're really gearing up for this coronavirus, taking it seriously as it should be. But anyway, that's where I was yesterday, okay? I had to go to the emergency room for something other than the virus, something really kind of weird to be going to an emergency room for, but I had to go. And I'm glad I did. I got that addressed, is what it is. Not taken care of yet, but addressed. And my problem is easing up. And I go to the doctor again next Monday, my specialist, as a follow-up. So, but anyway, that's where I was yesterday. And now, this emergency department, I address it as emergency room. I know that Advent Health calls them their emergency departments. That's the new terminology these days. I guess I'm an older person and I know it as an emergency room, okay, but whatever. This facility is about 6 to 8 months old. I think they opened up in September of 2019. They are relatively new in the area. It is part of the Advent Health system, and I used to work for the Advent Health Hospital, and a couple of different clinics involved with Advent Health are connected to the Advent Health corporation, I guess you call it. But this was a brand new facility, very clean, state-of-the-art equipment all over, just fascinating. Everybody that we ran into, from the person that we checked in with at the front desk of the ER to the medical staff, they were wonderful. They were absolutely wonderful, very nice, very caring, very friendly, and they talked to you. They listened, is what I should say. They listened to me as I told them that, hey, I'm not a medical person, but this is what I think I've got. Instead of just kind of poo-pooing me or saying, let's take a look here. They listened to what I had to say. So, and I felt substantiated because they agreed with me, with my diagnosis. When we first went into the emergency room, it was just the tent there. There were no people there. There were some chairs set off to the side and everything, but there was nobody moving around in that building or facility really. But you could tell that it was being set up. And by the time we came out of the emergency room, there were all sorts of people moving things in, setting things up within the tent, and you know that they were getting ready for business. So that also, and then with a little discussion within the ED with some, the nurse, made me feel more comfortable that we have prepared for this virus. We have prepared for self-isolation or even eventually a lockdown if it comes to that. And I hope it doesn't, because that's forced, I hope that we can handle this on our own by doing a self-isolation as need be. I mean, we don't need to go out to eat. We don't need to go to the bars. I mean, yes, it's St. Patrick's Day. It's a big party day for a lot of people, a big parade day, but those events have been canceled. And a lot of the businesses like bars or bar restaurants and that are kind of closed. We don't need to do that today. We can party anytime other than, now. Now is not a good time to do that sort of thing. Now is the time to take care of ourselves. And by doing that, we need to maybe go as far as isolation. If it comes to that, okay. I think I heard on TV too this morning, there was a man being interviewed that lived in China, worked in China, and so he was there for this whole virus outbreak, and he lived in isolation, forced isolation, since mid-February, I think it was. And it was like in mid-February, there were like almost 44,000 cases of the virus announced. And then a month later, at this point, they are saying there's only about 40 cases, not even that, about 29 cases, I think it was, that were still coming forward. So there's been quite a change by doing the isolation. Even though it was forced, it has provided quite a change. And hopefully when the lockdown is eased, that the virus won't, become a pandemic again. As we saw that tent going up, the reality of the whole situation here with the virus just kind of hit again real hard. It is becoming more local. We're seeing our medical facilities gear up to take care of the virus patients as they come in. So it's kind of like hitting home right now, okay? And that even made me feel, I hate to say this in a way, but it's true. It made me feel better prepared for what's coming ahead. Yes, months ago, even before that, we've always prepared for the hurricane season. And I mean, we have, candles and flashlights and lighting means for the candles, paper goods, canned goods. We've stocked up on a lot of that stuff in the past through the hurricane season. And every hurricane season, we look through our stock that we still have and add to it before we get to the season itself. We don't wait till the last minute to buy. We may go out shopping anyway during that time, but it's not that we are in dire need of a lot, and we don't buy in bulk at that time either. So the same goes true with the stockpile for the hurricanes. We have things in our pantry. We have stockpiled canned foods and non-perishable goods, freezer goods. We have things on hand so that we can sustain ourselves in a self-isolation or lockdown environment for a good month or so, okay? And then when all the news about this virus hitting did come to light, yes, we went out shopping and we stocked up some more. And we stocked up on things that wasn't absolutely necessary, but it's things that we kind of wanted, and a lot of snacky things too. But that was like, 2 months ago that we did that. We don't wait till the last minute, is what I guess I'm trying to say. And we don't buy in such a large number that it takes away from other people that are in dire need at this point. But yes, I am relieved personally that we do have enough on hand to sustain ourselves. And if need be, if the neighbors around us are in need, we can take care of that too. And my family, who live nearby, who has not prepared for anything. Oh, wait a minute, they're watching this. But if they should happen to need something, we have enough that we can share, okay? I doubt if we're going to be in a isolation type situation for months and months on end. I really don't think it's going to be that long. But if it is, we'll just deal with it. And I know there's a lot of other things that what some people call them as the Doomsday Preppers, that they do that I don't even know about, as far as prepping for whatever may come. But I prep in a way that is easy for me to do, for us to have on hand, that we can store the things that we need or feel we need. And I feel that we're taking care of business as we should be, just in case. Nowadays, I do know that the grocery stores are in turmoil. And as a matter of fact, I probably will be going tomorrow morning to get a few things, if possible. Just a few staple goods. But I think it makes a difference that I go during the day, like usually in the morning, get the errand taken care of, and I'm back home before the crowds are out. I understand there's been a lot of fighting at the grocery stores, fist fights, over, and I heard it was over things like toilet paper. Unfortunately, I believe it, that it's happening. People are so scared. Well, when you hear everything that's on the news these days, it is going to scare or upset people. And I understandably so. But you know what? People, you just need to sit back. Other officials are saying, not the news media it's typically, but officials are saying that this coronavirus is just like a regular, not even a flu virus, like a cold virus. And that most everybody will do just fine with it. And most everybody won't even be that sick with it. It's the hardest on the elderly people and the elderly people who have health issues, okay? So that is why we are kind of isolating ourselves, because of William's health issues. And I would say I'm 90% under isolation myself. He wishes I were more like him at 100%, but I'm more like 90. I still right now have a few things to take care of. And if anything's needed at the grocery store or, pharmacy and that, I'm the one that runs for it. Shh, Jen. So I'm not completely isolated, but I do spend most of my time at home nowadays. And speaking of spending more time around home these days, I have sat down and what I'm doing. But for me, it's like I have to keep busy doing something. I can't just, like my husband, he can sit and watch TV for hours on end. I can't do that. Yes, I'll sit and watch it if it's a movie that I want to see or a show I want to see on TV. But then I think there's so many other things that I could or should be doing, and I have to be busy doing something. And that doesn't mean that I have to be entertained by something else or someone else, or that I have to always be off doing something. That's not true, but I have to keep active. I have to be busy doing something. So that's why I'm making my list, checking it twice. No, I'm making my list, and I'm going to be doing a lot of baking. I have a closet that I want to clean out. It's in pretty bad shape. And I have some gardening that needs to be tended to, and there's some yard work that needs to be done. So yeah, I think I can keep busy for a while, keep myself out of trouble, okay? And I will take you along with me on some of those journeys. To everyone out there watching this, I guess I would say, try not to let all the talk on the news, the media giving all the negative reports and the scary reports, don't let that get you down. Don't panic from what you hear there. Trust in yourself, and trust in God. I'm not a super religious person, but I do know that, whatever is meant to be will be. God knows what's going to happen to us. You just do the best that you can to take care of yourself. God gave you the ability and the knowledge to do that. We're going to get through this difficult time. And yes, it's true that it may even become an even more difficult time for many of us, but we can do it, and we will do it. This too shall pass. So on that note, I think I'm going to bid my farewell. Deb has spoken. Over and out, whatever, okay? I hope you're all having a great day out there. Trying to have a great day, do your best. Stay positive as you can be, okay? And I'll be talking to you again real soon, but it's going to be bye for now.